So here we are at the Gephart compound. We've got some beautiful Quarry Arctic salmon. This is one of my favorite fish to work with, and a method that we've been doing around with shows and parties before all this isolation stuff happened, and people are going absolutely nuts over this method. It's more of a method than it is a recipe. We're calling it the Dragon Salmon. Let's coin this Kamado Joe Big Joe 3 verse 3 Quarry Arctic salmon. Here we go. All right, before we do any further fabrication on the salmon and start seasoning it, our Kamado Joe Big Joe 3 has come to temperature. We're going to set it up for an indirect cook. So I'm going to place these deflector shields right over the coals, which is essentially going to turn this into a natural lump charcoal oven. This dome has soaked up a lot of that energy. We're sitting at 400 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So we've still got heat coming from the natural lump charcoal, but the ceramic has done a great job of really sucking up that energy. So as we close the lid and that salmon's on there, we're going to get a lot of radiant heat from the top of that dome, which is going to help this fish cook evenly. Quarry Arctic salmon. Okay, this stuff is absolutely gorgeous. Great sheen on that skin, perfect bounce back. Great looking gills, bulging clear eyes. Let's take a look at this belly. Absolutely gorgeous. So what we're going to do today is the Dragon Salmon. This is one of my favorite ways to fabricate a whole fish and put it on the Kamado Joe. We're actually going to do 3 of them today. I've never done this before, so I'm really excited. First thing we're going to do is take our knife, slide through the belly, go north of the spinal region and try to stay on top of that dorsal fin and slide all the way down to the tail. Then we're going to lift up, see how we did, flip the knife, lay back, little positive pressure, and we're going to cut towards the collar, towards the head, but not come all the way through. We're going to leave this intact. Got a little meat there. We're going to scrape that with a spoon and try to make some salmon cakes here in a little bit, but we did a pretty good job. So let's go ahead and get that other side. Remember, for this method, we're leaving the fillet intact by the collar. So we're going to come in through that belly, sneak right above that spinal region, right north of the dorsal fin, and sliding all the way towards the tail, making sure not to cut through that spinal region. Flipping back, a little positive pressure, clip through the pin bones, staying on top of the spinal cord. We're reaching the collar. Notice how close to the head we are here. All right, let's see how we did. Looks pretty good. So we've got the frame intact here in the center. Next, we're going to pull that frame out just a little bit, lay the fillets on top of each other, grab a little plate and a spoon, and begin to go with the grain and carve out any of this meat that we weren't able to get during the filleting process, because this is gorgeous stuff and it deserves not to be forgotten about. We can make salmon cakes with this. We could do a smoked dip, which I think is kind of a fun idea, maybe a smoked cauliflower dip. Salmon burgers, gosh, that sounds good. I'm just going all the way down. Don't forget the tail meat. But you wanna clean up that frame a little bit, because it's going to be a big part of the presentation for this Dragon Salmon. Tracing the bones. And I like to use a spoon just because it gets all the way in there. All right, now we're going to flip. And we're going to attack the other side. All right. So what we're left with are 2 fillets and the center bone structure. Now that our fish is fabricated, we're going to go ahead and put some slices down each fillet to bias towards the head, starting at the tail, a little positive pressure. We're going about 3/4 of the way through. We're going to go in with a little bit of our savory maple Dixon barbecue rub. And I love this stuff. It's got dehydrated butter and dehydrated maple in it. It really sings my song when it comes to salmon. So nice coverage there. We'll lay the frame down. Now let's do the same thing where we're slicing towards the head, slight bias. Even coverage with our seasoning. And now's the fun part. Okay. Now we're going to start from the tail. I like to tuck the tail in towards the top of the fillet a little bit. And we're rolling towards the head. Look at that. Okay, so we've got belly on the bottom, top one on top. Little positive pressure there. Same thing, okay? Tuck in, roll, roll, roll. Stand it up. Kind of handle that fish a little bit. Now we're going to take a skewer. We're going to go straight through the fillet. And if you don't like the way that the rounds are looking, or the head's not protruding, you can do it again, but we're just going to go straight through the side. Careful not to stab yourself in the hand. And now that we're through, I'm going to go through the other fillet. Just a little bit further. And there we are. So check that out. Look how cool that is. Let me turn it to you so you can see it a little bit. Right now we've got our salmon nice and pinned up. Go ahead and sneak them right in the middle of these other two we've already got going on. I just placed those on about 5 minutes ago. Magic. Alright, go ahead and start putting those veg on face down. I want to get some char marks on there. We'll rotate them around a little bit. Just fill up all those spaces. Good job. We want those drippings from the salmon that are caramelizing on that plate down below to smoke these vegetables. And that's a great way to ensure that whatever vegetables you choose are going to go perfectly with it because they're seasoned with the drippings of the salmon. Alright, we're going to take a walk down the creek and then come back in 15 minutes and see where we're at. Pretty work. Slow roasted vegetables. Good color there. So I'm going to start taking all these off. And remember, we haven't put any seasoning at all yet onto the vegetables. We're just going to stack them up like this. And put a little slice to them. Easy peasy. The aromas coming off this grill right now are absolutely incredible. And let's go ahead and season these vegetables while we're at. We're going to use the same seasoning, the savory maple from Dixon Barbecue, on the vegetables as we used on the salmon. Alright, so we're going to do our best to get this pizza peel right under these fillets, just like so. Look at that. Take a look at this amazing platter we were able to build in less than, I don't know, an hour, hour and 15 minutes at 300 degrees. 350 would have been okay. What I want to do now is top this off with a bourbon dream sauce. It's a bourbon teriyaki. So we're just going to go right over top on that filet. Top with a touch of toasted sesame. Boom. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can pick that up. So a platter of Quarry Arctic salmon for the neighborhood in tough times. This is gonna, I gotta put this down. This is gonna brighten everybody's day. Let's take a look at this. Let's just peel right in here. Oh my gosh. Dip in that sauce a little bit. All right, let's take a look. That is incredible. So folks, even though we are going through tough times, you can still get this fish at Whole Foods. Quarry Arctic Salmon off of Kamado Joe. Killer combo. Thanks for hanging out. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, follow me at Eric Gephart, follow Quarry Arctic Salmon, and follow Kamado Joe. Cheers, team.